$395. First ingredient, mineral oil. The exact same mineral oil in a $9 baby lotion at Seif. So where does the other $386 actually go? You came to the right place, and you are going to leave knowing something the brands at that counter are hoping you never find out. Here's the belief most women carry into Sephora. Higher price means better formula. That a $300 moisturizer must contain something a $20 one cannot. It is a logical assumption. It is almost always wrong. The cosmetic industry in the United States is not regulated like pharmaceuticals. Brands do not have to prove a product works before they sell it to you. And cosmetic chemists who have analyzed these formulas publicly have found the same thing over and over. The functional ingredients inside luxury moisturizers are nearly identical to what you find at a drugstore. The difference is not in the jar. It is in the counter, the lighting, the celebrity campaign, and the story, all of which you paid for. Dr. Andrea Suarez, board-certified dermatologist and the creator behind the YouTube channel Dr. Dre, has spent years opening these jars on camera and reading the ingredient lists out loud. Her conclusion, repeated across dozens of videos, is consistent. You do not need to pay luxury prices to get what your skin actually needs. Today we are going to prove it. 7 brands you probably already own or have seriously considered. What is actually inside them? Why the price has nothing to do with the formula. And then 7 products that dermatologists recommend instead, at prices that are going to make you feel something close to anger and something close to relief at the same time. Number 1. The SK2 Facial Treatment Essence, $230 for 7.7 fluid ounces at Sephora. The entire SK2 brand was built on a single word, Pitera. The origin story is famous. Researchers noticed that sake brewery workers in Japan had remarkably smooth hands despite their age. SK2 traced it back to the yeast fermentation process and isolated the active. They called it Pitera. And for decades, women have believed they were buying access to something rare, something only this brand had ever discovered: the International Nomenclature of Cosmetic Ingredients. Name for Pitera is Galactomyces ferment filtrate. It is a yeast-derived ferment that has been studied for its ability to improve skin tone, support hydration, and address uneven texture. Board-certified dermatologist Dr. Munib Shah, who has over 16 million followers on TikTok, has spoken on camera about Galactomyces ferment filtrate as an ingredient class with genuine evidence behind it. The ingredient is real. The research is real. What SK2 does not advertise is that the patent on their specific processing methods has long since expired. Any cosmetic formulator in the world can work with Galactomyces ferment filtrate today. COSRX, available on Amazon and at Ulta Beauty, sells a product called the Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence. The name tells you exactly what is inside: 95% Galactomyces ferment filtrate. It retails for around $22. The Inky List formulates with the same ingredient in their mandelic acid treatment at Sephora for under $13. The molecule SK2, built a global empire on, is a $22 ingredient in a competing bottle. You are paying $230 for the Sake Farmer story. The ingredient works. The price reflects the story, not the formula. The next brand charges almost double that, and it is so universally trusted that questioning it almost feels like a personal attack. But the formula does not care about the mythology. Number 2. La Mer Crème de la Mer, $395 for 2 fluid ounces at Nordstrom and Sephora. The Miracle Broth story is one of the most effective pieces of brand mythology ever constructed. Aerospace physicist Max Huber, a lab accident that left severe burns on his face. 16 years of personal research, fermented sea kelp harvested off the California coast. The story is emotionally compelling, and it has driven billions of dollars in sales. Then there is the ingredient list. By law, cosmetic ingredients in the United States must be listed in descending order of concentration. The first entries on the La Mer Crème de la Mer are aqua and then mineral oil, which appears under its INCI name paraffinum liquidum, and then petrolatum, and then glycerin, and then isohexadecane. Paraffinum liquidum and petrolatum are occlusive agents. They prevent moisture loss by forming a physical barrier on the surface of the skin. They are effective at that job. They are also the primary functional ingredients in Vaseline Original Healing Jelly at under $5, in Johnson's Baby Oil, and in Aquaphor Healing Ointment at Target for $9.99. The Miracle Broth, the fermented Macrocystis pyrifera extract that the entire brand story is built around, does not appear on the ingredient list until well below the occlusive base. That means it is present in a lower concentration than the mineral oil and the petrolatum. Dr. Andrea Suarez covered the LA Mirror formula on her Dr. Dre YouTube channel and noted that the functional base is not meaningfully different from far less expensive occlusive products. Cosmetic chemists who have analyzed the formula publicly, including contributors at the Beauty Brains, a cosmetic science platform, reached the same conclusion. The moisturizing work in that jar is being done by ingredients that cost a fraction of a cent per gram at wholesale. The Miracle Broth may contribute antioxidant activity at its concentration. But the reason your skin feels better after applying LA Mir is the same reason it feels better after applying Vaseline. The occlusive seal. You are paying $395 for a petrolatum and mineral oil base with a fermented kelp extract present in a supporting role and one of the most expensive origin stories in beauty history. Max Huber was real. The accident was real. The research was real. But the formula that resulted is, at its functional core, the same occlusive technology available at any pharmacy for under $10. The next brand takes a more sophisticated approach. Instead of a mythology, it uses an actual scientist's name. And it turns out that is an even more effective way to charge more money for less proof. Number 3, Augustinus Bader, the Rich Cream. $280 for 1.69 ounces at Sephora. Dr. Augustinus Bader holds a real professorship in applied stem cell biology and cell technology. His academic research involved legitimate work in wound healing and tissue regeneration. This is not a fabricated credential. The science behind the name is real. The consumer cream sold at Sephora contains a proprietary ingredient complex called TFC8. The brand describes it as a trigger factor complex that activates the skin's natural renewal process using amino acids, vitamins, and synthesized molecules. The individual components of TFC8 are not disclosed. The concentrations are proprietary, and there are no published independent peer-reviewed clinical trials on the finished consumer cream in a major dermatological journal. The studies that reference TFC8 have been funded by the brand or conducted under conditions that do not meet the standard for independent third-party verification. The base formula, caprylic and capric triglyceride, glycerin, and standard emollients, is competently constructed. But the extraordinary efficacy claims attached to TFC8 are not supported by the kind of independent evidence that would justify $280 for a moisturizer. You are paying for the authority of a professor's name on the label. The jar has not earned that price through verifiable published science. What comes next costs less than half of the Augustinus Bader, and that is exactly why it has gotten away with it for so long. Number 4, Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. $110 for 1.7 ounces at Sephora and Nordstrom. Charlotte Tilbury earned her credibility backstage. Decades of editorial work, runway shows, magazine covers. When she entered skincare, that reputation transferred directly onto the moisturizer. The Magic Cream became her flagship, and it sells in enormous volume because the women who trust her with their foundation also trust her with their skin. The ingredient declaration contains sodium hyaluronate, which is hyaluronic acid, ascorbyl glucoside, a stabilized form of vitamin C, palmitoyl tripeptide 1, a peptide with evidence for supporting collagen synthesis, niacinamide, rosa canina fruit oil. Dr. Shireen Idris, board-certified dermatologist based in New York, has discussed each of these ingredient classes in her public content as having real evidence for skin benefits. The ingredients work. The problem is that every single one of them, in functionally comparable concentrations, is formulated into products that cost between $10 and $40. The Neutrogena Rapid Wrinkle Repair. Regenerating cream at Walgreens contains hyaluronic acid and retinol for $18. The ordinary niacinamide 10% plus zinc at Sephora costs $7. The Inky List Hyaluronic Acid Serum costs $8. The active ingredients doing the work in the magic cream are not exclusive to a $110 jar. The verdict is this. The formula is professionally constructed, but the price is paying for Charlotte Tilbury's backstage biography, not for ingredients that only she has access to. The next brand does not sell a person's story. It sells a culture's story, and that is harder to argue with because it feels disrespectful to question it. Number 5. Tatcha the Dewy Skin Cream. $68 for 1.7 ounces at Sephora. Tatcha built its identity on Japanese skincare ritual. Centuries of feminine wisdom. Geisha beauty secrets. The brand uses a proprietary complex called Hadase 3, described on the product page as a blend of Japanese green tea, rice, and algae. The language makes it sound ancient, exclusive, and irreplaceable. Green tea on an in-sea cosmetic ingredient label is Camellia sinensis leaf extract. Rice is Oryza sativa bran extract. Algae appears as Saccharina japonica extract, or similar names depending on the species. All three are standard botanical ingredients available to any formulator in the world. Innisfree, available at Target and on Amazon, built an entire product line on green tea extract for under $20. Aveeno has used botanical actives including oat extract in their core drugstore formulations for decades. Hadase 3 is a proprietary marketing name for 3 widely available, widely affordable ingredients. The ritual Tatcha creates has genuine psychological value. The aesthetic is beautiful, but at $68, you deserve to know that the star complex is not rare, not exclusive, and not worth what the branding implies. The next brand on this list is the one that concerns dermatologists the most, because it is not just overpriced. The formula may be actively working against the skin condition you bought it to treat. Number 6. Lancome Absolu Soft Cream. $260 for 1.7 ounces at Nordstrom and Sephora. The Absolu line is built around Grand Rose extracts, sourced from what Lancome describes as rose gardens in Grasse in the south of France. Rosa Damascena. Flower extract is a real antioxidant ingredient with some evidence for skin-soothing properties. The story is romantic, and the ingredient has merit. Look further down the ingredient declaration and you will find the word parfum, synthetic fragrance. It is present in the Absolu formula. Dr. Mona Gohara, a Yale-trained board-certified dermatologist who is frequently quoted in major fashion and health publications, has noted publicly that synthetic fragrance in moisturizers is among the most common causes of contact dermatitis and skin sensitivity reactions. Research in dermatological literature consistently identifies fragrance as one of the most prevalent allergens in skincare products. This means that a meaningful percentage of the women buying the Lancome Absolu Soft Cream for sensitive, redness-prone, or reactive skin are applying a fragrance-containing formula to the exact condition that fragrance is known to aggravate. $260 for a cream that may be causing the problem it claims to solve. One product left. It charges more per ounce than almost anything else on this list, and it uses the one word that makes every price feel justified. Number 7. Estee Lauder Re-Nutriv Ultimate Diamond Transformative Energy Cream. Over $400 for 1 ounce at Neiman Marcus and Nordstrom. The word diamond in the product name is working very hard. The Re-Nutriv Ultimate Diamond line sits at the absolute top of the Estee Lauder range, positioned to compete with La Mer and Augustinus Bader in the tier of the market where $400 is supposed to feel like the minimum reasonable investment. The cream contains black diamond truffle extract, listed on the INCI declaration as tuber melanosporum extract, which has some evidence for antioxidant properties. It also contains peptides from the palmitoyl family that have been studied for supporting collagen synthesis pathways. Both of these ingredient classes have real science behind them. The issue is where they appear on the ingredient list. Tuber melanosporum extract and the key peptides are listed in the lower half of the declaration, which indicates modest concentrations in the finished formula. Palmitoyl tripeptide 1 and related peptides from the same family are formulated into dedicated peptide serums by the Inky List at Sephora for $15 and by COSRX on Amazon for under $25. The ingredients doing the functional work in the Re-Nutriv Diamond Cream are not exclusive to a $400 Estee Lauder jar. The diamond in the name refers to the price positioning, not the formula. Now, here are the 7 products that dermatologists actually recommend. The recommendations are short because you do not need another story. You just need the answer. First, CeraVe Moisturizing Cream. $19.99 for 16 ounces at Target, Walgreens, or C. CeraVe was developed in collaboration with dermatologists and contains 3 essential ceramides, specifically ceramide NP, ceramide AP, and ceramide EOP, alongside sodium hyaluronate and niacinamide, in a fragrance-free, non-comedogenic base. Dr. Munib Shah has recommended CeraVe Moisturizing Cream on camera on TikTok, citing the ceramide profile and the clean formulation as reasons dermatologists return to it consistently. This is the La Mer replacement. Second, La Roche-Posay Toleriane Double Repair Face Moisturizer. $23.99 at Ulta Beauty. Ceramides, 5% niacinamide, and prebiotic thermal spring water in a completely fragrance-free, dye-free formula tested for sensitive skin compatibility. If you have been using the Lancome Absolute and experiencing unexplained redness, this is the switch to make. Dr. Andrea Suarez has recommended the Toleriane line on her Dr. Dre YouTube channel as one of the most reliably formulated sensitive skin moisturizers available at any price point. Third, COSRX Galactomyces 95 Tone Balancing Essence, approximately $22 on Amazon. 95% Galactomyces ferment filtrate. The same INCI ingredient, SK2 built a $230 product around. Fragrance-free, no unnecessary filler, and $22. This is the direct SK2 replacement. Fourth, Neutrogena Hydro Boost Water Gel, $19.99 at Walgreens and Target. Dr. Joshua Zeichner, Director of Cosmetic and Clinical Research in Dermatology at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York, has publicly recommended Neutrogena Hydro Boost as a high-performance, accessible moisturizer. Built around hyaluronic acid, fragrance-free, non-comedogenic, and absorbs without residue. This is the Charlotte Tilbury replacement at 1/5 of the price. Fifth, Paula's Choice Skin Recovery Replenishing Moisturizer, $42 at Sephora. Paula Bagoon founded her brand on ingredient transparency and has spent decades publicly analyzing luxury moisturizer formulas to demonstrate that price and performance are not the same variable. The Skin Recovery Moisturizer contains niacinamide, vitamin E as tocopherol acetate, and plant-derived emollients without fragrance, dye, or filler. For dry and sensitive skin, it is one of the most complete formulas available under $50. Sixth, COSRX Advanced Nail 92 All-in-One Cream, $25 on Amazon and at Ulta Beauty. 92% snail secretion filtrate. Multiple peer-reviewed studies have examined snail secretion filtrate for its properties related to skin hydration, barrier support, and post-inflammatory skin changes. At $25, that concentration of a legitimate studied active is the Augustinus Bader replacement. Seventh, EltaMD PM Therapy Facial Moisturizer, $42 at Dermstore and Amazon. EltaMD is a professional dermatology brand whose products appear in actual clinical settings as post-procedure recommendations. The PM Therapy Moisturizer contains niacinamide, sodium hyaluronate, and a peptide blend in a completely fragrance-free, non-comedogenic base. When a moisturizer shows up in a treatment room rather than on a store display, that is worth paying attention to. You came in believing that price reflected quality, that a jar costing $395 must contain something a $19 one cannot. In some cases, the hero ingredient is real and effective and available in a competing bottle for $22. In the most famous case on this list, the formula is built on the same mineral oil and petrolatum that has been in over-the-counter products since before La Mer was founded. And in at least one case, the formula contains synthetic fragrance that may be actively aggravating the exact skin condition you are paying $260 to fix. The 7 alternatives in this video are real products at real prices recommended by real physicians. Your money deserves to go toward things that actually work. Thanks for watching. If this opened your eyes, subscribe so you never get fooled again.